All right, pizza dough part 3. Actually making a pizza. Just want to show you what the pizza dough looks like after we're about 5 hours in now of room temperature proofing. I've already test fired one of each. One to my disliking, and the other one was actually significantly better. So right now I'm going to give you just a basic technique on how to bake these in your oven at home. Now most of your conventional ovens are going to go to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. If you can get yourself a pizza stone, you place it in the oven, crank the oven to 500 degrees. Mine's at 550. I'm able to get mine to 550, so I guess I have an advantage there. What we're going to do is we're going to fire the pizza dough onto the stone, cook it for about 4 to 5 minutes, and then flip the oven to broil mode and crisp up the top for an additional 2 minutes. So that's how we're going to tackle this. So first things first, I'm going to grab a dough ball here of the all-purpose flour dough ball. So this is the regular organic AP. So a little bit of flour down. Now with this dough, it's very soft. You do not need to roll it. It's just with your fingers, push it around a little bit, and then stretch it. Okay? Like so. Gonna grab my pizza peel, and Alexa thinks that I'm talking to her at the same time.
I'm not sure.
See, but you know, it is what it is. She's usually not sure. Quite frequently lately, she's been unavailable or unable to help me, but that's okay. I put a little bit of this semola flour down on my pizza peel. Key stage when you're building a pizza. A lot of people forget to do this, and it's like you try to get the pizza off the peel, and it's stuck there, and that sucks, because then you got to start again. Okay, we don't want to do that because it was a lot of work getting to this stage with our crust. So lay my crust on the peel. Very simple, pure, good ingredients I have here tonight. Okay, so I have just some San Marzano tomato puree. All right. A couple of other things on deck here. I've got some Manchego cheese. I've got some seared local maitake mushroom. These are roasted chestnuts. I want to do like a mushroom and chestnut pizza. Some grated galati. It's a local mozzarella out of Windsor, Ontario. Very good. Excuse me. A little bit of charred radicchio to maybe garnish the top. Some fennel, artichokes, a little tiny bit of summer sausage, pesto, more mushrooms. I've got olives. I have roasted red pepper, a little charred red onion. And I always like, when I'm doing pizza, I like to make up a little bit of chili and garlic olive oil. And I use this in combination with my sauce. I don't actually make like a pizza sauce. I just kind of let it happen on the pie. Okay, nice and light and airy. I've also got lots of nice fresh basil here to garnish afterwards. Okay, so you have that there. I'm just going to drizzle with a little bit of the garlic and olive oil. Spread that around. So this first one I think I'm going to make with tomatoes. A little tomato sauce. Now, when you're making these Napoli-style pizzas, you do not want to overload your toppings. It shouldn't be too much. It's just little bits of everything, okay? Next, I'm going to put a little bit of the galati cheese. Not too much cheese, just enough to cover it. Well, there. A couple of black olives. Green olives. artichoke. And then just a tiny bit of summer sausage. And a very small amount of roasted red pepper. Okay. I'm now going to fire this in the oven at 550 onto my stone. So you can see the pizza's starting to bubble now around the outside, nice rise on the crust. This is exactly 3.5 minutes into the oven at 550 on the stone. When my timer goes off, I set my timer for 4 minutes. I'm going to flip my oven to broil on high mode without opening up the door. And what that's going to do is change the heat. So the heat will start coming from the top, help give us some browning on the top of the pizza, but it'll still remain quite hot inside the oven to finish cooking the pizza and not burning the bottom. This is a really good technique for cooking on a stone in a conventional oven at home. All right, I've now flipped the oven to broil on high, and I set a timer for an additional 3 minutes. So I'm gonna watch this pizza like a crazy person until it's cooked until perfection. All right, still on broil. There's a little bit less than a minute left on the timer. You can see the pizza's got a nice color, nice browning around the outside. So in the next 40 somewhat seconds, you should have a nice, ready to rock Neapolitan style pizza done in your oven right at home. Okay, pizza is ready. Popping it out of the oven. Get a closer look here. Just a little personal sized pizza. A goodly amount of rise there on the edge. Should take a look at the bottom. Bottom's nice. A little bit of char on there. Cooked all the way through. So that was exactly 4 minutes at 550. And then we flipped it to broil for additional 3 minutes, and that's what we got. Okay. Now this was the all-purpose flour. Cut into it. Now they are really, really hot, so sometimes I recommend even just letting them sit for about 5 minutes before you cut into them. There's no point in trying to eat this right when it comes out of the oven. The ingredients are literally boiling on the top of the surface, so you know what that's going to do to the roof of your mouth. Just like so. I might garnish that with a little bit of radicchio. Why not? Some fresh basil, and rip some basil onto there too. There's no point in putting the fresh basil in the oven, it'll just get singed and seared into nothing. You want to put it on your pizza at the end when it's fresh. Voila! Alright, so that's one za down. That's 10 test fire the second dough. Now, I already test fired one of these prior to taking video, so I was definitely less impressed with this one than I was with just the regular organic all-purpose flour. So this is the Italian 00, the Vita Sena. So I'll give it a go again, see what happens. It cooked all the way through. It just didn't rise quite as much as just the basic all-purpose. But like I said, give it a go again. Maybe I did something wrong. I do find that these doughs do well under really high heats. So if your stove is limited to 500 or 550, that might be part of the issue. Because I have extra dough balls and I do have a pizza oven, I am going to test that theory as well, and I will share those results with you guys afterwards. But so same technique, just kind of push with your fingers. You want to thin out the dough in the center, leave a little bit of thickness around the edge so you get that puff. Okay. Grab your peel. Do not forget to flour that so that you can slide your dough off. Also, when you get to this stage, try to be ready to go. Have all your ingredients in place. If you sit your dough on your peel for a long time, it might have a tendency to kind of suck up some of the flour and will stick to the peel when you go try to remove it after, and that is no bueno, okay? For this one, we're going to do a chestnut, mushroom, mozzarella, and manchego concoction here. Manchego cheese is a sharp, kind of Parmesan-like, but definitely deeper and harsher in flavor compared to Parmesan Reggiano. It's from Spain. So a little bit of my garlic and olive oil there. Just a little bit of pesto. I'm not going to do a tomato. Oh, you know what? I might put a tiny bit of tomato on here. Why not? Oh, just a tiny little bit of pesto there. I'm going to dollop some tomato puree. It's like pizza art. This is what you do when you start going crazy in quarantine. Manchego cheese. The local maitake mushroom. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of hearing me talk about these, but I love them and I don't care. So, yeah, you're having them on your pizza. Well, I'm having them on my pizza. You're not having this pizza. It's unfortunate. So a little bit of the maitake mushroom, some roasted chestnuts. Absolutely love roasted chestnuts. One of my favorite pastas that I do is just a real simple olive oil, garlic, white wine pasta tossed with mushrooms and roasted chestnuts. Just love it. Some cremini mushroom around there. Okay, same principle. Don't overload it. Not too much on there. Don't want it to be too heavy. Okay. I'm gonna take some pieces of the manchego and actually first let's put some mozzarella on it, just a light coating. And just break up some chunks of the manchego. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Okay. And in the oven, let's put a little extra salt. You can add pepper, why not? Fire this in the oven. All right, time to take this second pizza out of the oven. All right, take a little look. Got decent amount of rise, not quite as much rise as the AP on this one. Now, I've, in the background here, been kind of messing around. I've got my pizza oven going in the garage simultaneously here. And I'm able to cook at a lot of, like a way higher heat in there. So I did fire this identical pizza. And it only took me, well, just shy of 2 minutes to get this. And that was at about 700 degrees Fahrenheit versus 550. So I've got a lot more rise. I can't wait to kind of dig into this one and see what happens there. Still worked in the conventional oven, no problem there. Just not as quite as much rise. To finish the pizza, you know, I've got the roasted chestnuts and the mushrooms on there. I think what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of fresh basil. Got lots of it I'm trying to use up. This is the fun part about cooking, is the troubleshooting, you know, figuring out the science behind it. If you want to be the mad scientist, you know, test your recipes, test them again, change them, add new things, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna just put a little bit of radicchio on there, a little bit of bitter. Okay. There you have it. Pizza in your oven, 550 degrees combination with broiling. Okay. Have any questions? Please, you know, reach out to me whenever you'd like.